Thank the moons. Zaji was worried you left with the tide. Lady Arabelle sent this one with urgent news. Well, Lady Arabelle doesn't exactly trust Zaji with all the details, but she did impress upon Zaji that she had urgent matters to discuss with you. So, she sent Zaji to find you. Oh, she said, Zaji, I have urgent matters to discuss with our friend. Go find them, dear, and tell them to come talk to me at Mandrake Manor. That's exactly how she said it. Ask Haska, she heard it too. Come to think of it, this must be about the peace talks. Queen Irene and the other leaders are quite annoyed that the talks haven't started yet. Hurry, friend. Go to Mandrake Manor and tell Lady Arabelle that Zaji sent you, just like she asked. No, and Queen Irene grows more annoyed with every rise and fall of the sun. Inactivity pains her. Lord Bacaro keeps delaying, and Lady Arabelle isn't sure what to do. But these are details that Zaji isn't aware of. You should talk to her. Five Claw, Zaji has news!
Politics. If there's one thing I hate more than those Ascendant Order bastards, it's politics. Hopefully, between you and Lady Arabelle, we can finish this business. Then Zaji and I can finally turn our full attention to restoring the Palms.
What strange times we live in. Signs and wonders spring from ancient legend to walk among us. And now, we have the tools to crown a new Druid king, if we so choose. What should we do with them, I wonder? The Council of Druid Leaders? Oh, of course, but how long will it take them to sort that out? No, I was speaking in the abstract. It is an interesting puzzle to consider, don't you think? Oh, most certainly. The Steadfast Knights will keep it safe. But I need to return to High Isle. The attacks, the damage to the city, and the ongoing activity from Mount Firesong have devastated Galen. The island needs all the aid I can give it. Healers, supplies, everything the Society of the Steadfast is known for. I need to coordinate efforts and stock the ships, but our pavilions will spring up before you know it. And when I return, I look forward to working closely with Count Stefan.
You've done so much for us, friend. I just wish Archdruid Raval were here to guide us. I hope we made the right decision to separate the regalia, and that the circles can form a new Dreyfa sooner rather than later. Everything is so different now. I haven't spoken with our surviving elders and archdruids about that yet. I did briefly consider asking to be part of the new Dreyfa, but I'm not sure that's a good idea. I'm a much better historian than I am a counselor. But if I'm asked, I will. Free will always have a place among the Stone Lore. But without a purpose, I'm not sure what they'll decide to do. Most nature spirits are bound to a particular location. Not Free. They can come and go as they please. But I hope they decide to stay.
How strange. My purpose has been fulfilled. Yet, I still grow. Tell me, Laurel friend, how do you choose a purpose? Mortals have none naturally, I am told. Something I like. I like being with Druid Laurel. I like to walk in the woods and listen to songs as old as the world. To care for the gentle creatures of the forest, tend seedlings that fall on hard soil. Then I will do that. Listen, tend, learn. I am old in seasons, but young in understanding. Perhaps I will come to understand more of this world with the passing seasons. Thank you, Laurel friend. I am glad our roots intertwined.
So many good people lost. Raval, Alec, my father. But through it all we endured. Galen is safe now, in no small part because of you. You have my thanks. I hope I can be as worthy of the title of Count as you are of hero, my friend. What can I say? They both taught me so much. My father was a hard man, but fair. He wanted the best for me, and he demanded the best in return. Archdruid Raval was a mentor and a good friend. Together they showed me what it means to be a Breton. We are blessed with a dual nature, part elf, part human. Our legacy on one hand encompasses nobility and knighthood, while on the other it embraces magic and the natural world. I think I've been trying to reconcile this duality my entire life. I believe I have. Why limit ourselves to one aspect of the Breton legacy? There's room for it all in our hearts. That's why I'll include the Druids in Galen's government somehow. Who knows? I may even become something new. A Druid Knight, perhaps. You misunderstand. I don't plan to lord over the Druids. Instead, I want to welcome the Druid circles as friends and neighbors. Give them a voice in the governing of the island, if they want it. My time with the Druids, I understand them. Just that I learned the ways of the Druids, as well as the ways of a knight and Breton noble. Too long have the Druids in House Mornard sought the glory of the past. This is an opportunity to find a new path that combines the best of our legacies. No surviving Stonelore was as close to Archdruid Raval as Laurel was. She would be a strong and passionate voice for her circle here at court. An excellent idea, friend. Oh, that's not what you were asking, is it? Well, let's leave it at that.
I've seen my share of rough waters. This business with the Dreadsails and the Fire Song was about the worst I can recall. Nice to have smooth sailing again. I imagine I'll set sails sooner or later. I'm a treasure hunter at heart, not a court mage. But I'm in no hurry. Count Stefan is going to need some help putting the island back together. I'm not about to leave him in a bind.
For someone who isn't a sea elf, you certainly make an impression. The Gilded Blades could use a fighter like you. If you're ever looking for work, look me up. The Lordling says the Mad Maiden will always have a berth here if I want it. For now, the Mad Maiden needs repairs. We took some damage in that broadside with the Firesong Druids. It's nice to have a friendly port where we can tend to that work. And I have grown fond of the food they serve here in the castle. Not in the least. That's just between the Gilded Blades and Galen. Marmer don't have friends. We have prey. But it might be useful to have a neutral port where we can talk or trade. I'll mention it to King Orgnum next time I see him.
Politics. If there's one thing I...
Sir Balman told me how insistent you were, Galfin. Called you a royal pain in the arse.
I couldn't bear thinking of you trapped in a cage on Ipholon. If my complaints help convince Sir Stefan to save you and the others, I can live with the insult.
Sir Stefan and the Mainlander. They saved us all and put an end to Archdruid Orlaith, and brought me back to you.
thing. You have more shinies than you know what to do with, am I right? Here.
Shall we find some mischief? A sturdy find indeed. For something to attack, or something to protect. We ride. Fewer people staring at me than I anticipated. What a strange time you live in. With haste!
We all appreciate what you've been able to provide so far. I used to think that our people were like tempered steel, but I think we're more like an old tree. Some We all appreciate it's a small thing to own a clean shirt.
Walls, conduct, order. This is not the grassland oasis I know, but perhaps that is for the best.
Trust me on this.
First sent to elsewhere to help fight the Nahuatl flu.
I'm not welcomed back home, not at all. You...
No one in Rimmon is quite as fashionable as Sharazor, yes? This...
I think I read about this place in a book from my time. It is quite different from what I recall. Perhaps I misremember. Pay me no mind.
Ah, good to see you, my dear. Zaji found you. I'm glad Zaji found you. Sometimes he actually manages to surprise me. You've already done so much. I hesitate to ask, but Lord Bacaro is reluctant to move forward with the peace talks while the Ascendant Order remains a threat. The Ascendant Lord and his minions are still out there somewhere. Lord Bacaro is hesitant to proceed when an attack could occur at any moment, but I can't keep the Alliance leaders here much longer. Their patience with the situation grows thin. They are a proud and fickle lot, but they have one thing in common, dear. They respect you. Go to the city palace and talk to them. Ask them to remain patient. Then speak to Lord Bacaro. See if you can convince him to let me get things started. Find the Alliance leaders at Gonfalon Palace and convince them to wait just a little longer. After that, look for Lord Bacaro at the city's western docks. He's been there for days, overseeing the Society of the Steadfast Relief efforts for Galen. I had to put them somewhere, dear, and Mandrake Manor isn't large enough to keep them comfortable and adequately separated. There's more than enough room in the palace to make sure they don't engage in any unchaperoned squabbling. That would never work. It took untold hours of planning and preparation to get them here in the first place, and then we nearly lost them on multiple occasions. No, this is our one chance for peace. We won't get another if they leave. According to the reports I received, you were there, my dear. You saw firsthand the destruction at Bastir, the rumblings from Ifilon. The Society of the Steadfast is sending aid to the islands as quickly as their ships can make the journey. Lord Bacaro Valores, philanthropist and founder of the Society of the Steadfast. He and his organization have gone to great lengths to assist those impacted by the Three Banners War and other catastrophes, such as what's happening on Galen. He's sponsoring them, dear, and he's paying our salaries, so keep that in mind when you go to talk with him. Get Lord Bacaro to agree to let me begin the peace talks, and then we can get High King Emmerich and the others to the table.
They've separated us, have us under constant guard. I feel like a prisoner. And all because Lord Bacaro wants to maintain the sanctity of his peace talks. But I want to hear your news. Where have you been, my friend? Druids and Sea Elves? Huh. Impressive as always. And have you learned anything more about the Ascendant Order and its mysterious lord? Yes, yes. For a Breton noble, Lady Arabelle seems quite competent. I know my father trusts her, despite her ties to Emmerich and the Covenant. We'll get to it. I can't wait to get out of this room so we can finally start talking.
It's only fair I rejoice in Do you bring news, my friend? Is Lord Bacaro ready to summon us so we can finally engage in the discussions of peace? Well, that's something, at least. I swear, though, if something doesn't change soon, I'm going to call for Captain Zaji and return to my own domain. I've been absent long enough as it is. Locked away for my safety is not what I had imagined when I agreed to attend this conference. I'll abide a little longer, but my royal patience is growing quite thin. Go, my friend. End the threat so we can get to the business that brought us here.
I used to enjoy my visits to the archipelago. It was a welcome change from the hustle and bustle of my court. But because of the Ascendant Order, I'm practically a prisoner in here. But tell me, what have you been up to? More druidic traitors? I really must have a talk with their elders. And they were working with sea elves. That's not an alliance I would have predicted. But what about the Ascendant Order? Any sign of them or their lord? Aha, Arabelle. She's never failed me yet. Give her whatever help she requires. I haven't spoken to Irene or Ernskar since the celebration. I think I actually miss them. The guards are overly protective of us and we've had practically no contact. No. Lord Bacaro wants the peace talks to occur under controlled conditions. He's worried that if left to our own devices, we'd start another war. And I can't say he's wrong. We're all a bit hot-headed and stubborn, if you hadn't noticed.
Let's get these supplies on board. The people of Galen need our assistance.
I'll take care of things here.
The defender of the three thrones and the savior of the sisters. I'm afraid you've caught me at a bad time. The Society of the Steadfast is needed in Vastir, and my ship is ready to depart. I decided to oversee the relief efforts personally. Lady Arabelle uses every weapon in her arsenal. I suppose that's why I hired her. But the timing isn't right, my friend. There's too much at stake to risk another setback. Once the most recent threats have been eliminated, then we may begin. I was about to send word to Lady Arabelle. My scouts reported new Ascendant Order activity at the Dufort shipyards. I sent a messenger there to confirm these reports, but they have yet to return. I fear Duchess Alea has fooled us all. After you discovered that her brother was the Ascendant Magus and killed him, Duchess Alea claimed no involvement. She was stoic in her grief and assured me her brother acted without her permission or foreknowledge. Since you're here, if you're still working with Arabelle, then you can look into the validity of this threat. Discover what became of my messenger at the Dufort shipyards. That would ease my mind while I aid Vestir and get us closer to starting the peace talks.
was intense.
Great work, but questions still remain. I shall return to my order and report all that has happened. Until we meet again.
Azitrabar.